Thank you for that. I am recording. This is a future forward-looking learning process. This is my passive interest. All right, I'm passionate about teaching. I've been in this journey for 4.5 years now. But my main thing is, catering Indian audience through online systematic learning. I've got a couple of students in my formal LMS, and I have to cater them. And juggling with my family, and then coming here to this country is also taken a lot of toll. So having said that, yes, recording is possible. That's going to be on a longer term. But then the reason why I ask you to be alive on the call is because how many of you agree that this is a different experience rather than watching recording? I am telling you, I'm a freedom freak. I'm a mom who wants to have a time freedom, stress freedom, debt freedom. Okay, that is my motto. And that's what I'm going to teach all of you. My mission is to help 1 lakh women like you and me to reach that, to achieve that freedom from all these. Okay. When it comes to recording, I rely a lot on recording. But then I understood that nothing comes like attending live. At least on the Zoom call, we're not able to attend physically, but Zoom call, it is very, very important to be there to get that vibes and carry that takeaway, put it into action. But if it's going to be recording, if you're going to watch the recording of today, you will end up watching only the next Monday or the Saturday or Sunday. Okay, that is a trend. It's a common thing that everybody does. But when you take that effort, your body, mind, soul, mental aspects of it, at the same time, family also are aligned. Hey, look, mama is getting busy, so I have to cooperate. And your husband will see, oh, you're doing something on Saturday morning. So, somebody could be, first of all, I want to thank you that you could be anywhere in this, anywhere outside or anywhere inside, doing anything for your family or, just chilling around on a Saturday. But then you made an effort to come today. That itself is a effort for you towards your productivity. Okay. When people look at this, they will definitely respect you, and in terms of, you projecting yourself for your child, everything is going to be really, I would say it's different, unique from what other mothers should be doing or other people should be doing. Okay. So kudos to you. And let's see what is the format that we want to propose for this kind of calls. Usually, we generally start with what's in for me, code of honor, and then straight away jump into the topic. People who are new, this could be a bit of, I would say, some norms, rules, or some awareness about this call. But people who are, whole timers, they all know. So I'm going to quickly go through, because I wouldn't be having time for each and every week that, to go through all this. By the time you are practiced being with me, you will know what it is all about. But for the first timers, this is going to be continuous learning, which means, by the way, what I'm using is mind map. Mind map is the most easiest way to brainstorm, to gather all your knowledge input. See, we're all filled with informative world, okay, full of information. But there needs to be a structured learning, structured implementation. For you to implement and get results, it is very important. Your thought has to be structured. We have gone past the pencil paper mode. We have been taking notes on phone, on laptop, and all that digital format. But even in digital format, we don't know. My password is going freak. I need a specific notepad to maintain all the passwords. I don't know how many of you are feeling this. I freak out with my passwords. I every time end up with wrong passwords because I have so many things going on. I have a separate notepad for which that is also password protected. It's too much. Okay. And if this is the way the brain works, it's going to be haywire everywhere, whether it's kitchen department or family or work department, everywhere it's going to be the same. So mind map is one of the best tools for you to get all your learnings, thought process in a structured format. Okay. So continuous learning. What are we going to do? We're going to spend 90 minutes weekly, which is 52 weeks. I will guarantee my commitment level is something that old timers will also know. I'll maximum try to maintain the consistency. In case of any emergency or any family demands is when I will have to inform you guys. Otherwise, mostly I will be available. Okay. Whether you are there or not, the call will definitely go on. Okay. And it's going to be translated to 78 hours. You see, every week, all you have to just do is 90 minutes you're going to block. The entire week that you have, 90 minutes, it's going to translate to 78 hours in a year. It will definitely give you compounding effect. And you will see all these, the terms that I use, you will see all those explanations. How is it going to be useful for you, and how can you bring this to your family or to your work? Everything you will see, week after week. Okay. And obviously, like this kind of a learning, you will definitely get a peer learning, that is sharing. I will be asking you to unmute and share your inputs, stay on call, stay live, stay alive to this topic, even though you should be busy. I'm totally fine. I mean, even I'm a working mother. I totally understand. All you have to do is put on your headphones and then you can do your work. But at the same time, if you want to share, don't hesitate, unmute and share. Okay. There will be assessment in terms of, when I get into a topic, I generally have formatted this way. I'm going to tell you what is the format, but each and every topic will definitely have an assessment also, which means either you want to do an assessment quickly while going through it and then share your inputs, or you may want to, after this call, you may want to think through and say, oh, okay, this is my personality type. When it comes to time management, this is what I am. Okay. Is it helping me or not? Is it helping my family or not? Does it help in my work or not? If it's not, what am I supposed to do? We will also be discussing what is the problem and what's the solution for it. There could be a lot of hacks in between. I will be injecting a lot of strategies and hacks. Take a note of it. In case you have any doubts, you can always come back to the group and then ask us. Okay. But for now, You might have to sacrifice, because I'm bringing you to the focus where you learn by, attending to this call. Be attentive so that you'll gain the retention power has to be exercised. Okay. What you learn, you got to retain and you got to implement. So what we will also be doing is, this is the format. For each and every topic, we will see how we can increase our awareness. So the better awareness, the better choices you can make. Every day, average 3,000 decisions a person makes, whether barring any age, barring any gender, and human being makes 3,000 decisions in a day, starting from, what time you wake up, and what dress you need to wear, what kind of coffee you want, more milk or more sugar, less milk, all that. And then you go to work, which way you want to travel, what transportation you want to take, and what is your agenda today. So many decisions, even at your sleep, you're subconsciously making decisions, making choices for the next day. So mind you need to be aware of it. Only then you can be a decision, you can make great choices in life. If you lose the awareness, what choices are you taking? For whom are you taking? For what are you taking? Without awareness, you're not going to be making informed choices. And if you're not able to take an informed choice, if your choices are disastrous in a day, it is definitely not going to give you the desired results. Okay. See to that you get heightened level of awareness, anything you want to spend on. So first, what we're going to be working on is to improve your awareness. The heightened level of insight that you're getting and consciousness. That is, okay, now that I have seen in that 90 minutes about my personality type, I cannot unsee it. Can we do it? No, once you are aware that this is what it is, you cannot unsee. You may want to cheat around for some time, but it'll definitely pop up. So the next logical best step is to act on it. Only when you act, you can actually know whether you're doing right or not. And only based on your trial and error, you can actually get the desired results. The reason why I have mentioned certain things verbose is because you need to understand the depth of the content. Although mind map I've curated, I'm not going to be giving you all the PPT with all essays, summaries. It's hard for mothers like us to take it. Honestly, I won't be able to learn. But there are certain things that you need to get into verbose, because only then you will get to know, okay, this is the word. So you will attach the meaning and you will start acting on it. Are you with me? What is an insight? Insight is coming from inside, the sight from inside. So insight and experiences cannot be false. If I'm going to ask you, in your experience, what is the definition for productivity? You're going to give your insight. Okay, that comes from your experience, from your learning, from influences that you have got in your journey, which will not be false. So the best thing that you have to do is always look for the insight within you, because the wisdom lies within you, and also respect the wisdom of others, because wisdom is truth. So aim for heightening your insight and consciousness from any topic you learn, whether it is here or even when you're watching TV, you're getting some insight, or when you're casually having a conversation, are you getting some insight? That's when you can build meaningful conversations with anybody. Now, why should I have all the time? Why should I have a meaningful conversation? No, you don't have to. But is there anything that you're learning? Then you're a lifelong learner. Then automatically you are heightening your awareness, your choices, your decisions in your life. It's definitely going to be a useful one, not just for you, for people around you. And obviously you're marching towards your better results. So this is essentially what is productivity. Okay. And when I think I finished this, because without improved awareness, you're not going to make better choices. Now, for your self-development, what you will do is, first is to know. That is creating awareness. And then is to, okay, now that I know what is my status, what is my strength and weakness, that is areas of improvement, how am I with other people, how am I within me, what is the level of productivity I am into, what kind of time management am I actually doing, all that if you know. The next thing is to, okay, now I'm here, from point A to point B, what am I supposed to do? How do I fill that gap? This comes only with skill building. That is the reason we have chosen this kind of a learning every week. Okay. Without skills, suppose you're asked to do a fishing and you're asking me, if I ask you, okay, come, let's learn, fishing. Then when I allow you to learn fishing, you're going to do fishing even without me, anytime, any part of the day, any time of the year, any time in your life. But if I ask you to watch me fishing, you're not going to learn. You must have heard this analogy anyway. This is the truth. Unless you learn and apply, you're not going to neither get the experience, nor going to get the insight, neither you will have the desired results. Okay. So first is awareness, second is skill building, and then, okay, logically, if you see, now that you know what is going to happen here, and you know the gap, okay, this is where I am, this is what I need to be fulfilling. Okay. A lot of people miss the point B. They are in point A. Okay, great. I'm in point A, but I don't know where I have to go. They lack direction. When I talk about direction, essentially what I'm talking about is they do not have goals. They don't have a vision. They don't know what they want to do in life. Unless you know your point A to point B, all this awareness, all that learning that you're doing, all that we are collecting, it's of no use. It is very important. You also have to apply and then Apply where? Apply to who? Why are we doing what we are doing? That is also important in one's journey. That's why I'm a certified EQ consultant. And I'm so passionate about EQ because EQ is nothing but emotional quotient. Just like how we have intelligent quotient, that is through academics, a child is able to understand their IQ status. Similarly, there is a quotient for emotions, because without emotions, human being doesn't exist, because we're all social animals. Everything is energy around us. And energy in motion is called emotion. Okay. So in emotion, intelligence language, that we are clubbing both emotions and intelligence. That is your left side, logical side, and right side, intuitive side. That is your emotional side. We're clubbing that and call this as intelligence by itself. Okay. In that, it's a circle. You first create awareness about yourself and others, and then you build the gap where you want to reach, and then you set your goals. Either this way or with your goals. Okay, now that I have goals, somebody in your class, I mean, you must have noticed this in your own classroom, right? When we are studying in schools, certain people, especially the first few bench people, they are so focused. They are like goal-oriented. They know exactly what they want to do after 12th grade. Whereas the last bencher typically have no idea what they want to do in life. How many of you have been the last benches? I had the privilege for the entire school sitting in the last bench. Having said that, essentially, I never had goals in my life. I was more of an explorer. I was a jack of all trades. Never did it occur to me that I need to narrow down, I need to specialize, I need to have goals to acquire something. I don't want to blame fully on myself, because there could be a lot of influential model around us. It could be a very own family, your own parents, your friends that you're gathering. They say, I can tell you who you are based on the average of your friends. Like, depending on the average of your friends, you can decide where you have to go, because that's what is going to take you there. The more the associations gets weakened, the more that person that people around in that circle will also have a weakened goals. So you need to have a definite goals. Those people are with goals. All they are only doing is when they come to school, they're just gathering the awareness, and they're building the skill gap. Eventually, that skill gap, when it is built, it is going to take them to the goals where they want to go. Whereas the last benches, okay, they are going to school, we acquired knowledge, we acquired all the awareness, and then we also kind of built our skill. But it went down in the drain because we never had particular goals for us to keep applying the skills what we learned and then reach where we want to go. That is why most of us feel schools did not give us what we want to go. That's a different topic. That education system is it's an old, outdated, English, Britain-based system, which is of no use. But at the same time, there are a lot of things that we learned in school, which is of drain. I used to like calculus. I'm not a math student, but I used to like calculus. I used to like algebra. I like geography. Of course, geography helps us out now. History also helps us. Now, sitting in this country, I have no connection with my Indian history. Yet, I can feel my patriotism sitting here. But what about the other subjects what we learned? In case you're an engineer, you might want to attach the meaning to what I want to say. I'm not an engineer product. I'm a simple BCom product. BCom has not helped me at all anyway, unless and until I want to do some accounting and the financing that I have to manage from here for family or work. It's not going to help us out. Why? Because we have not been clear in what we want to do. Okay. So what we're going to do is, for creating awareness, we're going to see what is the definition, myth, mistakes, advantages, disadvantages, and what is my personality styles. Okay. I'm going to back you up with certain theories and with some science backup. Everything is going to happen in a very concrete mind map format, where there will not be long content, but it will be quick brainstorming done either live here, or I must have collated certain things based on the learning that I have gone through. Okay. So this is the format. And then the skills. How are we going to build the skills? We're going to see what is the hacks and techniques needed for you to reach that point A to point B. And we also will read successful people's habits. Okay. We will see how anybody who is successful around you, you don't have to go through the Google or go through CEOs of successful companies. You might want to see your own family. If somebody in your elders in your family have gone through this and they're successful, pretty successful in leading the family, you might want to see their habits. You might want to see how self-disciplined they are, what kind of strengths they are working on, what could be the role models they have gone through, and what is going to work for you. You can always take those inputs. Or if you're open enough to see, you can learn from people who in your neighborhood or in your work environment, or it could be real-time successful people, industry experts that I'm going to give you a synopsis about all those people whom I admire. Okay, I follow a lot of people from India, and at the same time, we're all exposed to great amount of information through Netflix, through stock exchange, to a lot of newspapers, everything, right? So I admire few people, I've collated those successful habits for you. And we will also go through books review. And after the books review, and after this heightened level of awareness, you might want to fix some goals. We will do that also. And I will give you that expert tips as to how you have to move forward instead of going everywhere, searching everywhere, learning from everywhere. Instead, you can choose what you want, what's going to help you in your profile, and then have small goals which is attainable, which has certain format to it. And then you might want to share your wins and achievements in the same own group. Okay. And you will see the energy that is getting, collated in this, not just in this room, in also in the, the group in the WhatsApp. You will, eventually, as and when you continue to come to the sessions, you will also see that you are connecting with, let's say you're connected with Prashantini's inputs a lot of time, or you might have connected with some other person. Hey, you know what? This person thinks like me. And then eventually you will end up talking to them more, or you can even chat with them. And you might even know that there could be people around in your city. So you might want to meet up with them, and then it can grow, okay? The synergy expected is all depends on your willingness. How much ever you want to make use of these resources, it is up to you, okay? All right, now after this exactly 1 hour, we will step down to the main topic. And how is it going to help you? You might want to take great start that you are stuck in some journey, either weight loss or your learning journey, or you are stuck at some stress, you want to come out of it. You will kickstart with a great concepts every Saturday, okay? You might want to build your awareness, cultivating great habits, build this consistency every week, show up. Then you will know, you will be astounding to see yourself, oh, wow, I did this effort. And then you will eventually build your confidence. Thereby, we are also developing this learning culture, okay? Every week, we are developing this learning culture for ourselves and for others also. When you show up, people get encouraged. I want you to also put this as an encouragement to this group. When you finish this call, go back and then share your learnings. You will not only see that you are, exercising your authority there, you will also see that you're committing yourself. By putting your learnings there, you are indirectly also encouraging the other moms to come in, okay? I don't know how many people have got inspired based on other people's feedback from last call, but this is the leadership quality that you have to develop, okay? Thereby, not only you grow, people around you also grow. So participate, learn, reflect here. Apply, that is also more important. And thereby, you will see your improvement. And if you're planning for a career, you will not believe that all these memories, all this awareness will definitely help you somewhere or the other, unless you start applying, unless you show up, okay? All right, now comes to a quick snapshot about what is the code of honor for this group expected. First thing is show up and you be on time, participate well, reflect, and pay forward. After this call, just take a few minutes and observe. If you have really felt there's a great value add, why don't you go to this group and voice out? Not just putting your knowledge, what you gained, your takeaways, what you gained, also insist that how it is going to be helpful for others. How do you see yourself being helped? It's the same way that you're going to help others. You don't have to stop. You can go to the social media, or you can just talk to your friends around you. Why don't you just jump in? Now that we are talking here, we can also talk on the Zoom call. Maybe their inputs could definitely work out for me, and my inputs could work out for them. And when you synergize outside this call, you will have a great friendship. Okay, this is what I see, but it is up to you how you want to take this up. Now, last week, what we did, how are we terming ourselves as productive? So we saw the definition, measures, addictions. Now we will also see what are the general mistakes that we all do. Okay, I'm going to list out certain mistakes. If you have a smile in your lips, hey, I think I'm doing this mistake, just unmute yourself and share it with us. Or you might have to take a note of it. You might want to take a note of it and just see what is the trigger? Why am I doing this? And is there a way to stop? And if I stop, what is the benefit for myself and people around me? Okay. First thing is, we all think that being productive means we have to force ourselves to wake up early. How many of you here do that? You can just stay unmute so that you can talk whenever you want. By forcing ourselves to wake up every day, that means basically we are all wired differently. Our biological system and circadian rhythm, which I will explain to you little, later in this point. Biological rhythm is different. So one might be a night owl, okay, who wants to learn only in the night times. One could be early morning, early rises, and they just have a great focus in the morning time. Okay. For me, I'm most of night person. Okay. And after coming here, I have to cater my Indian audience, time zone clash, and everything is proving to be that way. And also, after I finish all the work at the kitchen and all that, the best time that I don't have any interruptions is only during that kind of a night zone. When I say night, before 11 or actively after 8 to 11 is where I see that peak of focus in me, and at the same time, less of interruptions. But this could be different from me to you. You need to figure out what time is the best time for you to wake up, because depending on your bedtime, your minimum number of hours, you need to put yourself at rest, and then accordingly you wake up. That can also be different when the school starts. The routine will also have an effect on you. You might have to figure out, okay, this is what it is. So I might have to break my sleep and then want to have a nap in the afternoon where it's totally free. And you might want to rest for some time. Your body definitely needs that. You need to check on your body signals and all that. So in nutshell, it is not necessary that everybody has to wake up early. But if you are waking up early, which has different benefits, I'm going to let you know all that in the following points. But The myth that you need to break here is it is not necessary that you have to wake up early to become productive. Just because you're waking up, it doesn't mean that you are productive. That is the point here. Okay. Hitting the snoozing button. Now, what are we doing? Just because we have to wake up, we are forcing ourselves. First of all, we are feeling foggy and tired in the morning. We are like cursing ourselves, not just cursing ourselves, we're also cranky about the other person next to us. Am I right or not? Right. The next thing is we are affecting our circadian, we call this as circadian rhythm, is because that is going to determine your wakefulness or your productivity in the next 24 hours. For example, it is, for example, let's say you wake up today and then sleep. So from tonight sleeping till tomorrow morning, that is going to determine how you will be tomorrow the entire day. How you are physically, mentally, and emotionally. How your body is actually helping you to be awake, to be available for the task that you have to complete. Don't you think it has a great connection towards what you call as productive? If you don't take care of these things, you will naturally feel tired and you do not know what is making you tired. There are many times I have felt this way. If you have also experienced this, let me know. There are so many times I felt like, why am I tired? I'm so exhausted. I thought I woke up early. I'm happy. I don't find any reasons to be going fatigued. But why is this happening? Because we are going against our biological cycle. Because we're not respecting that wakefulness and restfulness. Hitting the snoozing button is also I would rather say this alarm itself is a big stressor. It's not a relief from what we are doing. It is actually adding the stress. The sound itself is like big thing for us, okay? Especially when we have a different time alarms, okay? My husband will sound at one time and then mine will sound at one time, or probably most of the times for schooling, mine will be early and then his will be a little late. So we'll have a clash. So what we have done is most of the times we rely on our body signals, okay? Body alarm. Just in case if it's not working and it is riskier for the school time, we will have a vibration mode on the alarm or mute it, put it in a very low format or change the tone of that. I mean, the particular tone of alarm itself is a big stress factor. You make it a soothing tone so that it wakes you up slowly, calmly. Okay, this is one thing that we have changed, and then that's a great relief. For people who gets alert, who gets disturbed with this alarm, that's the best thing. People who don't bother about the alarm, they just hit snooze. That's a different treatment for them. But when you hit snooze and then you think, okay, after waking up, 15 minutes later or 20 minutes later, you're going to be productive. I'm telling you, I've watched this for my own self, okay? The book called 5 a.m. Club, that is also connected to productivity. It says, there's one hack I just want to let you know, because we're going to review all those books later point. In that, they say, the best productivity hack, when you want to wake up or when you want to practice waking up early, the moment you decide, first of all, you determine based on the sleep time, what is the best time that you want to wake up. You choose. When you choose, automatically, you cannot be stressed out because that's your own choice, okay? You choose it and stick to that. When it alarms, without hitting the snooze button, you just have to wake up. Within 30 seconds, if you are getting out of your bed, is when it is going to catch you up with the habit. If not, just try this out tomorrow. If not tomorrow, it's a Sunday. I don't want you to do that. But on Monday or in school times, like when the school routine happens, just wake up, get out of the bed within 30 seconds. After that, it's a free flow. But in that 1-2 minutes to 10-15 minutes is the whole struggle in the entire life. That kind of struggle we may have not gone through at all. Emotional turmoil, so many dilemma. Why should I wake up? I'm cursing everybody. And then physically it is getting tiring. My legs are aching. And people are sleeping. That is another thing. Okay. And everything is dark. And, it's pretty cold. It's cozy. So many things is stopping us to be productive. So watch out all that. Before hitting the snooze button, use this hack. And for somebody to know circadian rhythm, this is the whole cycle. So this says, starting from your midnight, you will see, 1 minute. Can you all see the screen? Please unmute and say if you're not able to.
Yes, Brinda, it's visible.
Okay, great, thank you. So you see, starting from midnight, the deepest sleep is at 2 o'clock. And your body temperature goes down at 4:30. And at 6 o'clock, your blood pressure rises because it's the morning routine. The very reason why your blood pressure rises can only be through your alarm. Okay, how many of you agree? Or for somebody, it could be the sun hitting on their face. Okay, that is the reason the light and dark ergonomics is very, very important for you to get that deep sleep. Okay, then the melatonin secretion stops. Okay, melatonin is one of the 5 or 6 hormones that we have in our body, which is helping in many activities. Melatonin generally helps in sleep, inducing the sleep. So that is stopping at 7:30. So it is anyway naturally getting stopped. But you know what we are doing? We are, forcefully stopping it by drinking coffee, caffeine related or sugar related stuffs. So this is a great mistake. So there has to be a regime for morning. Because you're waking up from a dehydration point. Have you realized that entire night you have not been drinking water at all? And suddenly you go and drink, the first thing that you're drinking is caffeine. Just imagine how much it is going to affect your system. Okay. And the highest alertness comes at 10 o'clock. And the best coordination of your body only happens in the afternoon. But then we slouch, we get lazy between that 1 to 3 o'clock. The culprit time in the day, especially for mothers, is that 1 to 3. That's where the nap happens. That's where the body gains weight. And that's where the habit of sleeping, and then if you don't sleep for one day, the headache happens. That entire thing is going haywire. The lifestyle gets ruined in that particular time. If you are able to bypass that time, you can win over other habits. Just try this out. Fastest reaction time is at 3:30 because you get at peak of because your child should be coming in, or you're getting prepared for your the next meal of the day, or some classes that you need to coordinate for your children. You're generally active in that time. Okay, that's when they say, see, at 5 o'clock, best muscle strength and cardiovascular efficiency. That is the reason in India, at least in those times, we always advise evening times is for playtime. Okay, so many of us have forgotten, especially for our own selves. But at least for our children, I believe that we have a good culture of letting them play in the evening. It is also all the more important to take the sun at that point of time, because vitamin D is another deficiency that we're all suffering from. It is good to step out of the house at least, even if you don't want to play. Your knees could be aching or leg could be aching or whatever it is. Just sweat it out. Go for a quick brisk walk by the time you watch your children play. Do some good cardio, and then highest blood pressure happening at 6:30, and highest body pressure is also at 7. And this is when is the best time to complete your dinner too. Okay, and then you're letting your body to segregate the melatonin again to help you induce your sleep. If you're going to stuff everything after 7, 8 o'clock, you see how this cycle is going to get affected. Your digestion, by the way, your digestion happens between 10 to this time. Between 10 to 2 is where your digestion is also going to happen. After that, it is going to stop, because you need to sleep well. If you all the time the stomach is going to growl and all that, it is only going to let you pee or go for motion. It can't let you sleep. So it is very important that we respect that particular time, biological time. Okay. How many of you have gained something today? How many of you learned something new today? Is this a new concept, or do you already know this? You guys already know this? Okay, super. All right. Welcome, Anita. Hi, Anita. Okay, she should be switching on now. Hi, Anita. If you're able to hear us, let us know. A big hi. Hi, Anita. Welcome. Anita is from India. Okay. And Anita, all the other moms here are from USA. And we've got 1 or 2 moms who messaged me will be joining a little later from India.
Hello. Yeah.
Hi, Anita.
Yeah, I'm driving actually, so I'll just have it in. I'll turn off my.
Absolutely, no problem. Kudos to you. Thanks for showing up. Great driving, cooking, and then putting on your headphones and learning. Great effort. All right, we started off with productivity mistakes, what we generally do, and then the second mistake is starting your day in a reactive mode. Again, waking up instead of being proactive about thinking about, okay, today I woke up. That means I'm alive. That itself is a great thing. Second thing is, I have a lot of things to do. I have my mission. I have certain goals. I have certain tasks, either for my own self or for family. I get excited to do. So that is waking up proactive. Instead of scrolling through your phone, looking at the newspaper, or the first thing that we all do is WhatsApp messages, and looking at the notifications, how many likes, how many friend requests, and all that. Be proactive. And what are the ways that you are being, when I say proactive, is to avoid all that interruptions that you get. Negative impact that you all get. So one of the very big mistakes that we all make in the morning is to allow the external sources to influence us. Okay. It says we don't even give the chance to listen to our own inner voice. How many of us pray when you wake up? How many of you just say a big thank you that you're alive, that somebody is next to you, your own family, your own loved ones next to you? There are a lot of people who don't have loved ones. There are a lot of people homeless. They don't even have a home and shelter to sleep properly. So most of us will reach out to phones and check out our WhatsApp messages, inbox, emails, and all that. Okay. So this negative impact is also going to affect your mood for the rest of the day. So you're going to spend this time to think your priorities for the day and run through your calendar to make a today list. What is the big mistake? Is this the big mistake? Why are we not supposed to do that? The reason why we are supposed to run through our today list the day before is because we don't have time. As a mother, you must be agree that in the morning we don't have time. All we have time is to just keep shooting what we are supposed to do in the kitchen and how are we going to pack up, the children for school. That's all we can do. At that point of time, if you start thinking and then your brain, first of all, is cloggy. It's not going to, get you to the alertness mode. You just saw the circadian rhythm I just showed you. When is your brain going to be at the peak? Because you have to allow that brain capacity and the body capacity to function at its speed. If you're going to insist, if you're going to force, it's not going to get you to productivity level at all. Okay, we are just hitting blindfold. So instead of that, be proactive to prepare your to-do list the day before. How many of you do that? How many of you pay gratitude when you wake up? At least few moments to, just take a deep breath and just thank God for a lot of things. How many of you do the gratitude at the night, which is also okay? How many of you are able to gaze the sun and enjoy the sunlight? I'm telling you, when I went to India, I felt like heaven, because sun is the most undeniable thing when you step outside India. You just can't deny sun. It is scorching heat here. It is very scary here at this point of time. But after some time in US, you and me know how it is going to be for the sunlight. We just have to starve for sunlight, right? So you cannot deny sunlight. Morning sun and evening suns are so beautiful. And then some yoga, breathing exercise, maybe on the bed, or you allocate a particular time for that. That's how you start your day proactively. What are the other things that you are doing that can help us, start our day proactive? Is there any other tradition? Is there any other conventional methods that you have, that you are habitually doing, which is helping you out? Anybody wants to share? Or it's like mornings are all the time. You've not, you have not gone through this at all. That do you really think it's useful? Do you really think it's essential? Well, I would rather say, look at your own self. Look at the day that you have not been able to do, and then you have been doing the other negative aspects. I said it may not be negative according to you, but has it helped you yet? At least that much you can assess. If it has helped you, looking at your inbox, looking at your emails, messages in the morning, likes, dislikes, and all the notification, well, you must be productive now. If it is not, have a look at it. Okay. Then, as I already said, skipping breakfast and hydration, because in your midnight sleep, the entire sleep time, you are skipping water and food, especially water. See, we are not conscious about drinking water at all. It's an average human being mistake, especially adults mistake. That is even there in the children's mistake. We are not consciously being taught to, drink water. What is required for the body level? And especially during the time where you're sleeping, we almost stop drinking before we hit bed, because we are afraid that it is going to disturb us peeing. All the time we wake up for peeing, it is going to disturb us sleeping. A lot of people sleep that way also. So almost around 9 or 10, we stop drinking water. And then imagine, by the time you are waking up at 6 or 7, sometimes it is 8, 9, 10. Imagine how much you are like leaving your body without water. My child, generally, I let her sleep certain days, especially during the summer holidays. And she wakes up like cranky. She wakes up like, Mom, I'm not able to speak. Don't speak to me. I go and cuddle her. I talk to her, and she's not able to speak. She generally is a talkative person. But the moment she brushes her teeth and she drinks some water, and then she's like, okay, then she's full on. So I asked her to see the difference. What is putting her off? Then she understood the value of water. So children won't be able to wake up water and consciously have. But then at least adults, make sure that when you wake up, after brushing your teeth, have 2 tumblers of water. So that is going to hydrate your system, which is going to get you off your, help you, get onto your routine very quickly, respecting your body system. Do not go for caffeine or sugar immediately after you wake up. Okay. Similarly, breakfast. Breakfast not only sets you up mentally for the day, but also physically. So it will kickstart your metabolism, and it is regulating your blood sugars. I'm sure after looking at the circadian rhythm, you won't be cheating yourself after this call. That much you can commit. Am I right? Respect your body rhythm. Then you wouldn't need all this alarm or all these other external factors to influence you to build any productive habits. By avoiding breakfast, you're also most likely to snack. This you must have, people who are in the weight loss journey, you will know. When we intermittent fast and all that, when we are not clear with our eating routines, we will definitely end up eating junk. Okay, so that will be mostly sugary snacks, which will give you a spike in energy, but an even quicker slump in creating a vicious circle. Which means, similar to caffeine, the sugar will also give you a glucose spike in energy for you to do that at a short term, but eventually you will droop down. There could be classic examples in your own family. Okay, I have seen it through my eyes. The productivity level, even though the person is brilliant, they are able to focus. It's just that their body is not allowing them to focus for a long time. That is a disastrous level. Even for me, I have a ligament sprain. So it's a physical pain. If it's a physical pain, you have no other go but to address it, but to heal it. Otherwise, it is going to pull you off. But imagine, without the physical pain, your intake itself is you're disturbing the biological cycle without your awareness. That is even more disastrous. So be aware of all this, concepts, and then see how much you can rectify that. The most recommended breakfast is a balanced breakfast containing both protein, carbs, and fruits. The simple thing that we did for family nutrition is we started adding fruits to every meal plate. 2 or 3, maximum 3, but then minimum 2 meals we are having, right? Together. Add fruits to it. We started off this habit 2 years back. Okay. Now we are in a full-fledged, now we have also gone to millet-based meals. Okay. In fact, people around us are also inspired, and then we all want to start millet revolution or movement for various reasons. Millet is basically Indian-based staple food over the ancient food. You will see a lot of benefits when you search up for that. So that is also adding up to our meal plate. Drinking enough water, or at least liquid-based food like soups, smoothies, coconut water. Back in India, it's heaven. But then when you come here, there are a lot of things restricted. But you have to create your own structure, right? Whatever is, unless you are focusing on your nutrition, your body is not going to get energy. Your body is temple for you to become productive. Okay, remember this. Along the side, is also important to drink enough water to hydrate, and the brain. If you want to save your brain power, I just said focus happens here, not your entire body, right? So focus mainly happens from the brain. And if you want to conserve your brain power, drinking water. My husband goes for taekwondo. My daughter also goes for taekwondo. When it comes to my husband practices, he, in the initial days when he didn't have stamina, because we have lost the habit of going for regular cardio and exercises and keeping ourselves fit, especially when it comes to cardio, right? You need a lot of stamina. As you age, our brains will become brittle, and it doesn't allow it. It becomes rigid also sometimes, right? So the master said, the best hack for you to, don't go like, you're like call 911 situation just for a cardio, right? Instead, hydrate yourself. In fact, he says for every exercises, he drinks water, because the water not just has the power to give you that flexibility when you're doing exercise. It also heals. It helps. The water is the main element for your recovery. Recovery, not just injury recovery, it is also healing. Sleep is a recovery. Resting is a recovery for the body. Every day we are recovering. Unless you put yourself into that recovery mode, you're not going to be productive the next day. Okay, everything is related. And then doing too much multitasking. This everybody agrees. Multitasking is a myth again. I'm going to break it all. Multitasking slows down productivity by 40%. And actually has a long-term negative effects on our brain, such as memory impairment on new subject matters, difficulty in learning new materials, and increased stress levels. How many of you agree to this? How many of you see yourself in this? I see. Honestly, I see myself. At least I've seen this happening in me. So doing more than one task at once is completely anti-productivity. I just was going through some article today. It's a book called Stolen Focus. Okay, they have gone ahead and researched a lot of people, took a study on a lot of experts about neurological activity. Okay, they say human beings are single-minded people. They are all single-minded. That is, your brain naturally is single-minded focus. It's just that we have exercised, ourselves. We have manipulated our brain in terms of doing a lot of activities, and then we are assuming that we are able to be productive if your results are that if you're able to complete all of your tasks, which is good. But at the same time, think about the exhaustion that your body and your brain is going through. If you're happily doing without getting burnout, you still be able to complete your task, then you are at your peak of productivity. If it is not, then watch out these things. Transition into the habit of, okay, so this way working is inefficient for focus and deep work. There's also a concept called deep work and shallow work, which will be, we will be discussing in the later topics. You will see the difference as to how much of a mistake that we have been doing, thinking we have been doing a great work. But there are a lot of levels that we can actually chisel our efficiency in order to reach productivity at a less productivity. Essentially, we just saw the definition that completing tasks at a less given time with a minimum use of resources. That is called productivity. Okay. Transition into the habit of monotasking. So now onwards, you're going to remember these two words. Instead of multitasking, you're going to be concentrating on monotasking. Okay, where you focus on one task at a time. It'll take few weeks to get used to it, but daily practice for more than a couple of weeks will be able to restrain your brain for a longer focus. Are you with me? Do you all agree? From today onwards, do you want to see yourself doing a monotasking first? Just see how it is helping you efficiently and effectively. If you're getting effective in monotasking, all you have to do is just apply the same thing in all the other aspects. Okay? Not preparing the night before, we just spoke in the morning. Because we'll be able to plan out our day without worrying what gets left behind, you need to give that habit a priority. If you're able to prepare the night before, all you're doing is you're giving a big boost to your productivity levels the next day. because you don't have to worry. You already decided what you have to do. So that is also helping you getting into prioritizing the task also. And that is not going to be seemingly hard for you. When you have the habit of just few minutes, all you have to do is, what I do is take your notepad on the phone itself. You don't need a paper pen. There are many days I've been running around for paper pen and I get exhausted. So everything happens to me on the phone itself. So I take a notepad and quickly jot down. And every day the to-do list is also refreshed. It's not the same old bogged down activity. I'm not saying I'm changing my activity. What I'm saying is, maybe today I'm doing a class. Tomorrow, for the same class, I'm doing a different activity. Okay? You see, the brain is also getting a variety. At the same time, you're also not getting exhausted because you get that excitement of doing something new, fresh every day. Okay? Anxiety for what's to come tomorrow happens every so often that we tend to lose sleep over it. Okay. Now, why are we doing this the night before? Because most likely we will snooze the alarm button, or we will wake up in a rush. We will be doing everything that for the first few hours in the morning in a rush, total rush. We don't prioritize calmness in us. Okay, the reactive mode is all the time on right from the moment we wake up. So the anxiety gets built in. But if you're able to prepare the to-do list the night before, I'm sure that anxiety is lessened. I'm not saying it's going to reduce at all, but you will see yourself, you're less anxious. How many of you have gone through this? See to yourself, when you prepare, we will have low anxiety levels, therefore getting a better quality sleep instead of being sleep deprived. You very well know, okay, this is my day tomorrow. Whether somebody is going to disturb me, we do not know. Life takes over, okay? There are a lot of firefighting days, more than the productive days for me. There are a lot of firefighting days in the last couple of years. I'm telling you, after coming here, I think most of us will be that way in the initial time, right? Until you settle down in a new country with a new environment, new routine, everything is pretty new. But these habits will definitely help your stress levels. At the same time, it will boost your productivity level gradually. Leaving everything until the morning also means, see, we've got a lot of things to do in this morning, from deciding what to wear to make packed lunch. And as I said, many of us are also going guilt trips because, oh my God, I didn't do this, I didn't do that. In fact, if I have to tell you, my preparation for the next day, the previous night, goes to an extent that I've given this as a hack. I will even prepare all that, for example, if you want to have a lentils for the next day, I'll soak that lentil in the night before. That's how it is generally done. But every day there is a lentil preparation at home. So it's become a habit for me. I might as well want to make that as a habit for nutrition also. So for me, anyway, preparation is needed. So I'll do that as an automatic trigger. Even if I forget, right, my spouse or my child will remind me on that. So that way we're like automating things. Okay. Like this, there are many things you can, automate it so that you don't have to be worrying on, miss out things. Even if you worry, even if you miss out 1 or 2 days, you can always adjust. But if it's going to be a regular habit, I'm telling you, you will go on guilt trips. I have been through. And most of the mothers, their stress levels going up is only because they do not know how to handle their anxiety levels. They do not know how to handle their stress levels, with this kind of a hacks, or, in time management, we'll learn the techniques of outsourcing, automatic, delegating, and all that. Okay. When you know that, when you're able to do that, automatically all this will be taken care. Okay. Morning spent rushing about under pressure makes us more likely to neglect ourselves. You are fatigued. Most of the time, you're like, I'm tired. I don't want to have anything. I don't want to do anything also. Even the casual thing you don't want to do. Okay. Which can set your day off in a bad footing. Most of the times, we end up bad footing in the morning. If you write your list, everything is fresh in your mind at the end of the day. Then you can rest knowing you have tomorrow to set to handle whatever you need to get done. Another reason why you have to write at the end of the day, in my experience, what I've seen is, when I finish, as I said, my peak focus time is that. Okay. So it's natural for me to quickly jot down, okay, look, I have some incomplete work now. Tomorrow I should be able to continue this. I'll quickly jot down. When I go to the kitchen, I'll know, okay, what is, before I sleep, I do a lot of things. And then I quickly know what is pending. And then I, write it down. So this way, one, I'm able to have the continuity for the next day. When I come back, it's not really giving me a fresh look. I mean, what I'm saying is, it's not really the beginning stage. I've already done that. All I have to do is the incomplete task. Second thing is, it is fresh in your mind when you have just completed, and then you're going to off to your bed. You'll be able to take a note of it, because when you come tomorrow, you're going to start, because maybe you are not physically well, or maybe some emergency from your family, or some conversations have gone bad footing, as I said, something has happened. Your mind is not able to come back to the task, what you want to achieve. It is not allowing you to focus, and you may lose the continuity. Okay. And thereby, oh shit, I forgot this. I might as well want to finish this. Then slowly you're building up your anxiety levels. Okay. So in nutshell, do this. It's a simple thing. All you have to do is preparing the night before. Try to see if it's working out. Give me a message. Put it in the group. Say, okay, this hack helped me. I'm telling you, You will not only reinstate for your own self, you will commit yourself to continue this habit. You will also be able to inspire your family. You can give your inputs to your child or your friend who's suffering for the productivity, or maybe your spouse, you never know. And then the caffeine sugar, I don't have to explain to you. The morning science says stress hormone cortisol is released as a response to stress. And science shows that cortisol is highest in the first hour of waking for those experiencing stress. Mind you, if you're going through stress, do not worsen this by increasing your cortisol in that morning times. Okay? Already it is going to be high, do not worsen it. Instead, try to incorporate nutrients like zinc, magnesium. Okay, we are talking about caffeine thing, which is going to increase this, cortisol level. Essentially, it is also the above few points what we have discussed that should not add up to your cortisol levels. Okay. So eating right stuff is also helping you calm down, like omega-3 fatty acids, magnesium, vitamin B. Getting sun will also help you calm down, because vitamin D is also linked to all confusions in mind. I have learned this from my experience from the doctor. I've been in the vitamin D regime for last 3 years. I went to the rheumatologist. Thankfully, they didn't find anything big with my knees, but then they end up saying vitamin D, deficiency. So this vitamin D, I've done enough research. It might even go to an extent, it is common for anybody, by the way. Even children goes through this. Sometimes when they're cranky, when you are cranky, right, just check. Why don't you just go for a walk and come in the sun? You'll find yourself balanced. Okay. It is creating imbalance. The deficiency is creating imbalance. It is creating a lot of troubles in terms of decision. And it is also creating some imbalances in body where you get, spasms. So do some research for vitamin D. And then for sleep also, it will definitely induce a good sleep, good rest. Especially in India, when you're out in the sun, right? You just want to come home and just sleep. Why? Because it helps you induce your sleep levels. Although the body is strained because exposure of sun, but it is also helping you rest. Okay. Not hydrating after sleep, we have seen enough. So 6 to 9 hours, you're kept yourself dehydrated. Drinking a large glass of water at room temperature and an empty stomach, it is very much important. And one more hack: if you're on the weight loss journey, just add little drops of lime in it. In fact, you can keep that added lime or fruits, anything added to the water to make it alkaline. Okay, this is an interesting tip. If you want to know that even your water is acidic in nature, and if you're drinking the acidic water in the morning, it is going to affect your stomach. It's going to growl, it's going to disturb your biological rhythm. So add fruits, especially lemon, lime juice into it, and keep it stored. The next day morning, fresh, you have it. You will see, I'll tell you, weight loss is a byproduct of what you're doing. All these things should be in the front line of what you have to do to take care of your body and your work. The rest of the things will follow through. Okay. Then comes ruminating. How many of you are enjoying? By the way, I know it's getting time. If you want to stay, I want to finish these two, and then make sure I'll open the awareness of time management, because the personality type is something that I committed. It'll take another half an hour time. If you're interested, you can stay along. But I would like to know, so far, how many of you are enjoying it? Do you think it's a value add? Anybody want to share? Because I would like to know that I should not be talking just to the camera. I would like to take some live feedback. Are you enjoying? Okay, Prashantini said
yes. Yes, Brenda. Yes.
Great. Anybody wants to share how far it is going for you? All right, super good. Okay. Now comes ruminating. Have you heard of this word? This is also another mistake that we're doing. Many people identify with the experience of waking up already, worrying about all the tasks. Ruminating is nothing but worrying. Constantly. There are some addictions, okay? There are some people who want to all the time worry. All the time think about what next? What if? This what if question is actually becoming a pattern for them. Okay? So this is like showing up every aspects of life. They have this experience of waking up already, worrying about all the tasks, stressful things that are going to come up. All the things we worry will definitely fall into these 3 categories. How many of you have realized? It is going to be unimportant, unlikely, and uncontrollable. You know why? What we worry is only futuristic. And what we worry could only be referred to past. But if we are in the present, everything is new possibility. If you understand this deep, you will see whatever you want to worry, it's only going to be unimportant, unlikely, uncontrollably, mostly. Leave alone the emergency situations. Leave alone the firefighting situations. Okay, God forbid, nobody has to go through that kind of thing. But for them, it's a different thing, right? The urgency is different. The worrying aspect is different. But in general, I mean, it's not that every day that we have to go through the firefighting mode. Okay. Then that person is fully going through the traumatic stress. That's a different, attempt. But mind you, if you're going to build the anxiety level slowly every day, you're actually walking towards the traumatic experiences. I'm telling you from my experience, I've gone through this. Having known this awareness, despite of being aware of this, I have not gone to this deep level of awareness. Nobody even told me. Unfortunately, I did not even look at the patterns and get the signals. Only after I get hit, I've gone through all these learnings. Okay? That is the reason I'm sharing with you also. You don't do this mistake. When you start the day in a negative thought loop, the thoughts are more likely to put you into negative downward spiral, into a vortex. That is, it's spiraling downwards. It is going to affect your mood and your day. Not just your mood, also people around you, especially the family. It's going to translate to your child, and the child will translate to her or his friends, to the teacher. That is going to replicate in all the other dimensions. Even your spouse, right? When the spouse is at home, it's going to have a clash. You will see that happening. So as humans, we are programmed with the negative bias in our system, naturally responding to pump up our stress hormones. We are all the time vigilant, especially after Corona. We don't have to blame ourselves. That's what the book says. Nobody has to be blamed after Corona. The traumatic stress in everybody is quite understandable. But you choose whether you want to continue to have that traumatic effect every day in your life. You may think, okay, I'm not traumatic. It's just that morning hours are busy. It's fine. It's busy. It's understandable. But you don't have to go through as a stressed activities. I'm not saying you can joyfully do. Of course, that's a mastery level where you can joyfully do what you're doing. But before experiencing the joy, you have to allow yourself to be productive. Preparation is also important for you to enjoy the process. Okay, that's why we are seeing all these hacks. And then not prioritizing calm. We don't actually take care of the mental health in us. We rely on getting things done. But when we have to think about the mental peace that we have to go through, so because if you're peaceful, not just your day is going to be boostful, it is also going to help the others. Suppose I am on the online teaching somebody, I'm talking to somebody as a casual conversation. I'm full of stress and anxiety. The words, the conversation, the intention it's going to come, it's only going to be a vent out or outlet or just to put my points and take some validations. Instead, we stop listening to what others say. The entire conversation is going to be disastrous. So prioritizing calm is also important, that you adding some amount, you're contributing to your self-care. Starting the day off a note of anxiety instead of calm will carry on throughout the rest of the day. Morning is going to be chaotic, but if you're trying to cram everything to be done at morning all at once, then it is going to disturb your calmness. But if you're going to practice all the hacks that we just spoke, you will see that you can practice calmness. You may not be seeing the results as it is, but then you will see the compounding effect of it. Peace looks different for every individual, mind you. Peace may be something for somebody like reading a book, or talking to somebody is peaceful for them, or just watching TV without any interruption is peaceful for them. So it can look like meditating for 10 minutes, just having a quiet breakfast, or just having a quiet morning stroll. You figure out what works well for you. When it comes to productivity, slow and steady wins the race. That is the key here. Okay? We go everywhere where we look. Where we focus, the attention and energy goes. This is the key. Wherever you're focusing, that's where the attention and energy flows. Now you decide where you want to focus. Okay? And then whatever we focus on the whole day, we are becoming that. If you are planning to become a great at something, we simply need to watch what we do the entire day. If you're walking towards your goal, or we are watching the news, fiddling with the smartphone on the entire day. See, even when you're talking, you're like constantly, you're not actually listening, right? Most of the times we are only hearing. When we're constantly fidgeting something, or constantly in our mind preoccupied with something, we're actually consuming a lot of brain power, thinking that we are productive. No, we have already lost 50% of the game. So think about this. You can actually forget your goals if you're not able to have a deep focus. I'm not asking you to be, why are you so serious that you need to focus all the time? No, you're actually practicing the deep focus. Okay. And then another mistake that we are doing is because we are not able to say no. The trick of deciding, the decision-making hack to increase productivity is not to have too many distractions. First is to remove all your digital distractions. I'll tell you one more concept. It will take your mind off. What they say when it comes to focus is, for you to get the deep focus, you have to first of all pump up your intensity. If you're able to intensely focus on something, whether it is talking to somebody or doing something like this, it will only take 15 minutes for your brain, body, soul, everything to align, it seems. It just takes 15 minutes for you to get to the deep focus, it seems. 15 minutes. Imagine. That's all your brain needs. But that 15 minutes of the beginning is very difficult for everybody, right? Why? Because we're filled with distractions. And next big thing is, the moment you find one distraction, the moment there is one interruption, it could be anything. It could be just a knock at the door. It could be just a knock, the one notification from your mobile, or something outside. it is going to take 25 minutes to come back to that focus, it seems. Imagine how many interruptions, how many times we are distracted for doing something. That is why I'm going to be sharing successful people habits. How are they able to be successful? What kind of things they are going through for them to be focused, really focused. You'll be interesting. It'll be very interesting for you to notice that, oh, wow, this is very simple things that they're able to do. So those things are the secrets for your productivity. Okay. So the first thing that you have to do is say yes to only high priority items and say no to the rest. This is your hack, for which you need to know what is your high priority items and what is not. That is what time management actually going to let you know. Okay. Now comes urgency versus productivity. Okay. Before going to this, I'm also going to open up the time management thing, because urgency versus